Okay. We are back and we are live on the Stereo app. Welcome to the Social Living Podcast. I am your host, Julian Green, and I also have my co-host, Jamal Lawrence. How are you,
Yo,
Jamal? How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. We've had a little delay. We've had a 2 week break. Obviously, we've had little one's birthday, Killian's birthday last week.
Yeah,
Still recovering from the journey, It was a quick dash to London and back. But yeah, it was good, man. It's good to spend time with the family, get all the next generation together. But
yeah.
yeah, blessed, man. I'm enjoying life at the moment. It's good. It's good. I'm
It's
in a
good.
good
It's
place.
good. It's
Yeah,
good,
man.
man. I'm
How
happy
about
to
you?
hear
How,
that.
how's things on your side?
Yeah, no, everything's good. Everything's good. Like again, I'm gonna apologize to our dedicated audience that we have been 2 weeks late. So there's been a bit of a delay. There's been a lot of things happening, a lot of birthdays, a lot of just family commitments, which haven't enabled us to kind of commit a time. Just as you guys are aware, myself and Jamal are in two different locations, so it's quite difficult to try and get the time to cross over, right? So I do apologize for that, but we will be back. But yeah, overall, I'm good. Like
Mm.
works okay. I feel like I just need to put a little bit more pressure on myself. A lot of things have been happening on social media over the last 2 weeks as well. We're seeing it seems like it's Instagram update season, so
Yeah,
definitely
man.
stay
Weekly
tuned.
updates.
Yeah, trust me. Weekly updates, and as per usual, please do stay tuned to the end of the show where we actually give the social media updates and our take and our opinions on those as well. But yeah, I'm ready to kind of kick off onto this topic. I feel like, it's something that I've been intrigued about for a long time. And I'm just kind of happy to be talking about it, to be honest. So just to kind of give the audience a bit of an overview. So this episode is going to be called um, why should you be paying attention to NFTs? And myself and Jamal were just going to have a nice discussion about NFTs. What are NFTs? And just kind of like a beginner's guide around it, and whether you or your brand should be paying attention to this space, and whether it can be profitable for you guys. So yeah, it's interesting. So Jam, like, have you come across NFTs before?
So yeah, this is gonna be an interesting poddy because you're the NFT expert between the two. So for me, it's gonna be an educational session for me as well as everyone else listening. So only experience I've had of with NFTs has been through what you've discussed with me in the past, or what I've seen from Gary V post as well. Actually, tell a lie, there's also what's the Instagram page? Visualize. I think there might be their handle on Instagram where they've now converted their art into NFTs as well, and they've entered
Okay.
that space. But apart from that, that's the only real exposure I've had of it. I'm still late to the market.
Mm, Oh, it makes sense. I feel like I guess the first place to kind of start is when someone says NFT, you're already thinking, oh my God, another acronym. What is this that I have to learn? Um, but essentially, an NFT stands for basically non-fungible token, which probably just sounds like technical jargon to you right now. Um, but in other terms, like it's just a unique way of being able to, I guess, digitize something. It can be anything, um,
Hmm.
but it's an asset. That's what I'm going to put it as. It's an asset, similar to how you might own a stock on the stock market.
Okay.
You might own a stock, so it's a digital asset. But essentially, that's what it is. And that digital asset can be anything digital. It could be a drawing. It could be right now, it's a lot of like, it's very artsy. So you
Hmm.
mentioned visualize, and he does a lot of visual art concepts, very simple. And the fact that he's going into NFTs is a big thing, especially for artists. Um,
Hmm.
so, a lot of people probably get confused with NFTs and cryptocurrencies and bitcoins, and they're thinking, oh, what is it like? What is NFT a cryptocurrency? I can confirm now it's not a cryptocurrency. As I mentioned, it's like a digital asset that can be bought with different digital currencies. Obviously, the most common one being, I think, Ethereum at the moment, but you can use it to buy. Um, it can be bought with other different currencies, and that's obviously dependent on what the owner of the digital asset, the original owner of the digital asset, has put it up as. So if they have put it up to be bought with Ethereum, then it will be traded as with Ethereum, and that's just how it will be. So so yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know if you've got any questions. I'm happy to just kind of like dart in because I
Mm.
honestly think if you're a small brand, this is a huge opportunity. Just to experiment more than anything. I'm not going to sit here and tell you NFTs is the future, but we don't know what the future is going to be. But NFTs is a very interesting space, um, especially if you're into like collectibles and art and content creation, which is a lot of people at this current stage. Like if you look at the most of the
Hmm.
people that are on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, like this, and you create unique content. So nobody creates content like you do. This could be a good and fruitful space for you right now. So I definitely think you should definitely try and do some research into NFTs. So yeah, sorry to take it back, but did you have any questions? Um,
Yeah, so I think we should like maybe strip it back and talk about where we can see NFTs. Like where is the marketplace for NFTs?
yeah, sure. So I think one way you can look at NFTs is like let's look at let if we say NFT is like a digital asset, right? So let's
Hmm.
kind of compare it to like a physical asset. So I'm gonna use an example of someone like Banksy. Banksy, amazing artist from the UK, but he's very much a global artist, very world renowned. Let's say he does a painting, right? So a couple of years ago,
Hmm.
I know he did a painting and it like self shredded, right?
Hmm.
So he would have to sell that painting. To sell that painting, he would put it through auction. So he can put it onto. There'll be obviously there's certain auction companies that specialize in bringing a group of buyers together and purchasing, and for people to purchase art specifically. And it's a similar thing for NFTs. There's a variety of different marketplaces that you can use to upload your digital art if you have any, and purchase any digital art that you see that you might want to purchase. And to name a few, there's places like Variable, and the one that I'm using at the moment is OpenSea, so I'm just going to stick to that one. So OpenSea is a great place for you to start. It's where you can upload digital art or an NFT collection, I would say. It doesn't have to be art specifically, but it's majority of it is right now is more art focused.
Hmm.
And yeah, you can use OpenSea. So the way it works is you would sign up to OpenSea. You would have to connect. First of all, you have to have a cryptocurrency wallet. The most common one out there is the one I would recommend for beginners anyway, is Coinbase. So you can
Hmm.
definitely sign up to Coinbase and then connect your wallet to OpenSea, and then yeah, I guess the next step would be to try and purchase some Ethereum. I'm not going to take you through that process, but you could go buy yourself some Ethereum. Don't need to buy a whole Ethereum, just depending on the price, it fluctuates. But buy some Ethereum or buy some Bitcoin if you can, whatever it is that you have, and pop it into a wallet. There'll obviously there's videos on that on YouTube you can go and watch. Once you have that in your wallet, you can go shopping literally. So you can go ahead and have a look at what's on OpenSea, what tickles your fancy. Obviously, I can
Hmm.
understand as a beginner, you're probably not gonna know what it is that you want to purchase, if you do want to purchase. But even on the other
So I
hand, go on.
I was gonna say, I know you mentioned at the moment there's a lot of art going around on the marketplace. Have you seen anything else in terms of like market share, like anything else that's cropped up in terms of like the style of or the type of NFTs that are trying to break through at the moment?
Right now, no. The most things I see are is art. I There
Hmm.
are other things. This probably gets a little bit more technical. There are things that are there are other NFTs called R NFTs, which are like real world NFTs, which is again another element of NFTs where it's like you have your digital asset, but it also comes with a real world asset as well. So
Okay.
this could be something that could be very interesting for like people who work
Would
within real estate, for example.
could that be like a
Um,
hologram? Would that be like an example of that?
well, it could be a hologram. It could be anything, to be honest. It could be a t-shirt.
Okay.
It could be
Okay.
it could be anything, all right? But that it comes with a real world asset as well as the art piece. So like let's say um let's say I don't know, Messi creates an NFT and it's like NFT could be anything. It could be just a 2D image of him. And then he decides to put that 2D image on a t-shirt. And so if you buy that NFT, you also get the t-shirt that comes with it as well.
Hmm.
And you own that t-shirt. And there might be only a select few. Typically with NFTs, you want to do like a limited collection, just like there would be with art. Like Banksy, if he does a painting, he does that one painting and that's it. And then it will get resold and resold and resold and resold.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, And it's the same with this. You can do that, and you can create the one, and then see how much it sells for. And I think the biggest pro with NFTs is that because it's blocked by because it's backed by blockchain, it means that it's very much more secure. So anyone who's owned one NFT, let's say Messi again, he puts out this NFT and it was bought and resold for like 100 times, we would know the 100 people who have held that NFT, and it would be
Okay.
publicly aware. You know, it'll be people
There's
could
kind of like a
see
track history. There's
exactly, and it's public as well.
hmm
So one thing that
hmm
would be amazing um, is you seeing who owned that. So it'll be
hmm
funny if you like went through and it's like, oh, LeBron James owned this Messi's NFT for like 3 months, held it and then made X amount and sold it for X amount. You know what
Yeah,
I
it's
mean?
good,
So it's
and
like you get like
that
a
adds to the value of it as well. I bet knowing that these celebs have owned it previously makes it more of a valuable item.
100%. And it's the same with art right now, isn't it? So like knowing certain people have owned certain of like maybe Banksy's images or something like that, you know, it just raises the value. And then also on top of that, another benefit again from NFTs, which I think a lot of people might not understand. Like obviously, if you're in this space, you probably are fully aware. But if you're not, one other benefit is that because it is backed by a blockchain, we can see exactly who owned it. But also, the original artist can earn a commission every single time that that digital art or that NFT has been resold. So let's say Messi put out this digital art and he I don't know, he sets a commission on it of it could be 10%, you know, which could be quite, you know, it's a bit high to a certain extent because some people who might buy NFTs might not want to buy something and then know that, you know, 5% or 10% is already going to get taken away from it if
Hmm.
he sells it. But it might be worth it if he knows it's gonna like skyrocket. But you can set a commission on it, and every time that it is resold, the original artist or the original creator of this NFT will earn a percentage, which is something that artists never had access to in the past. Well, they could have
Hmm.
potentially if there was like contracts in place, maybe, but where it's backed by the blockchain, everything is registered and receipted, you know. So there's a receipt of how many times it has been exchanged and how many times that person has earned a commission on
Mm.
this
I wonder if it,
particular NFT.
yeah. I wonder if that would mean it would be more automated then as well. So once it's then purchased through someone else's hands, like within, I don't know, a 24-hour period, the 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 processors and whatever the back room
It
of
happens instantly. It happens,
amazing. So yeah,
it
it's
happens
less work.
simultaneously.
Okay, I see how it's coming together. I get it.
Yeah,
I get it. So
yeah,
how
and
do you see them coming into the real world then, Jules, and being like adopted by more people? Like, what do you reckon the near future holds for NFTs?
you know what it is? It's someone like all right. I feel like we all might be a little bit like this. Like you might purchase art from somewhere and you might hold it for a little bit. Like let's say you went on holiday, you bought a little something because you liked it, and then you hold it for a little bit, and then you might resell it. You might people like for example, people do this with trainers right now, right?
Mm,
But every time that trainer is resold, Nike doesn't get a percentage, Supreme doesn't get a percentage, right? So if you're into like collectibles, you might go and buy something because you think it's really cool and you want ownership in this thing, and then you're gonna hold it until it has a certain resale value, and then wait and hold out until you can sell it at that price. And I think
hmm
that's quite cool because this like it brings like a fun and a collectible aspect to buying certain assets. Because for example, right? Some people they want to invest, but they don't find it fun investing because they feel like, yeah, I'm going to lose so much money on this or whatever. But when you make a
hmm
purchase, like you don't necessarily buy a company because you just think it's cool. It's like it's going to make money, right? You've invested
Yeah.
in that. But when it comes to art, you can buy it because you think it's cool, and then somebody else will also find it cool. I might find a value, in it, and then you can hold it and sell it. Do you know what I mean? I feel like it makes it fun. So people who like to buy, it could be loads of different things. Like people who invest into like gaming and buying skins and things like that. I feel like this new age or new generation of people, I feel like this could potentially be their and this could be their stocks and shares, in the
hmm
future. You know what I mean?
hmm
And this is where I think is a huge opportunity for brands because if you're a brand, especially if you're a really small business and you have a small community of people that religiously like drink your coffee or eat your cakes or whatever, like they can own a piece of art that your brand has created just because they think it's cool, and then that money kind of goes into your pocket as a brand owner. But then it might get sold again as your brand grows. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's like
hmm Got you.
it's another consumer like a product that consumer can dabble into on a digital aspect that you might not be able to have sold before. Like imagine
hmm
selling digital art in the past. It wasn't something that you can do. Like we all find things, certain things really cool, gifs or gifts, sorry, if you call it that. Um, Imagine you owned a piece of some of this art that was being created, memes, things like that. You could own it digitally and resell it. And you just own it just because you think it's cool. It's the same as like collecting Pokemon cards if you were from that era. And then knowing that you got this Pokemon card, but you can also see the 100 people who've had it before.
hmm
I think this is something that's really like it's really cool, and I think that brands at the moment should 100% just experiment with it at least because we've seen TikTok, they've come in, they've playing around with NFT collection. Instagram are now looking at it as well. We've seen the likes of Jay-Z's Marcy business ventures, his business that he has, the investment fund that he has. They've invested in I believe it's a marketplace called Bitski. These are just really, really, really interesting, um, I guess, just opportunities right now, especially if you're a
hmm
small brand. I don't think that you can dabble into something that isn't really big right now, it's kind of big and it kind of seems like a hot trend, and then the bubble might burst in the short term because it's overhyped. But then in the long run, you could see 3 and 4 years down the time, if you if someone owned like a bit of Messi's NFT now, or they owned Messi's NFT now, in 5 years' time, how much could that be worth
Hmm.
once he's
Got
retired?
you.
Do you know what I
Got
mean?
you. Mm.
Um, or
We've
if
had.
I don't know, your business went down, but the only thing that's left of the business is the digital art that's out there. Oh, do you guys remember who so and so? Do you know what I mean? It's a collectibles item now,
Yeah.
which
Got you.
you might
Got
not
you.
have had that in the past. You know, this is where it's like the art becomes antique. It's like, do you see what I'm saying? It's like the life that we've had already, but in digital format.
Hmm. Got
You
you.
see what I'm
Got you.
saying?
We've had
So
we've had
go
a
on.
few questions come through from King Roshi if you wanna play them and see he's got a few questions for you about NFTs and how we can kind of adapt them into his life because I think
Yeah,
it looks
let's
like
take.
he's a marketer. But yeah, I'll just click play on it now.
So, so,
It's not playing. Wait.
so Tory Lanez sold his, I think, last album in the NFTs first before he dropped it on the streaming platform. So, could you explain like how that worked, and like like how he valued from that, and like how the people that bought it valued from that, and because like I was kind of confused. It looks interesting though because it seems like something that could be the future for hip hop artists, so they can have can gain more value from their artistry. So I'm just curious on like how that whole process would have worked for him.
Yo, that's an amazing question. King Roshi, big shout out to you. Great question. Yeah, Tory Lanez, he took a great route, a great route or route, as you might say in the US. He took an amazing route to kind of go and drop his album through NFTs, right? So he had I believe it was 1 million copies of his album, and he sold it through an NFT. And as soon as he put it out, I believe onto the marketplace, I believe it sold. I think there's a lot of question marks about how many were sold or whatever. But either way, right? He's the original creator of that art. And again, it's digital art, it's music, it's streams, right? So what he's benefited from is the noise around NFTs as well. So he's kind of gone in. I'm the first person to drop an album as an NFT. He might not even be the first person, but already just creating that hype around NFTs gets everybody looking, right? And then let's say I bought that NFT, right? This is Tory Lane's first ever NFT, right? He might have sold it for like $10. I can't remember the pricing, so don't quote me on the pricing, but it could have been £10, $10, whatever it is. I now own a bit of Tory Lanez's album. Basically, I own it, just like how I would purchase it in stores. But there's only 1 million. There might be only, I don't know how many copies. Let's say there was 1 million copies, right? But I hold now the first ever one. This could be the only one. So the way I profit from it would be, okay, is this charting? Is now people wanting to purchase this NFT, because it's now very scarce and they want it as an NFT, as opposed to just having unlimited copies of the album, that you can buy like in CD stores or just streaming it. You can stream it and it still makes more money. But now him putting it up as an NFT has now enabled him to make another stream of money that he potentially wouldn't have made before. So now
Mm.
that album can be resold multiple times without people even listening to it. So they might not even care what content is on the album, and people can listen to it and own a piece of it. Well, they own it because it's theirs. And then once they're done, they can go and sell it again, maybe for double the price, just because it's Tory Lanez's first ever album as an NFT. That holds some kind of weight, some kind of value. It might not have that value right this moment in time, but let's say something happened to Tory Lanez. Let's say, God forbid, he passes away next year. That was his only ever NFT. That's going to be worth a load of money. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's dependent on what happens. It's very much like just popular culture at the moment in terms of the way he's done it and everything, but it will gain some value over time, especially if he uses his community right. So if we like dive into like someone like Nipsey Hussle, who was able to kind of maximize the value of his community, right? He sold albums for $1,000, right? And you're thinking, you know what, that's crazy. I would never pay $1,000 for his album. But he knows that he has a fan base where at least maybe 100 people would buy it for £1,000. That means he just sold 100,000. He sold 100. He just made, sorry, $100,000 just from selling his album as a physical copy, as well as it being free on, your Spotify's, your Apple Music, your Tidals. So it just creates another avenue for him, and he's just taken advantage of like the digital world and people wanting to own a piece of things like in a digital asset way, if you know what I mean. Is that clear?
No, yeah, I think that's where I'll put you now. Yeah, and it's a good question from King Roshi. I see that he's got another two questions here for you, so I'm just gonna click play on the second one now.
I might have missed this because I came a little late in the conversation, but like, what are the cons to NFTs as well? Because I've just been wondering, like, is it something that will hold value for years to come, like decades, or is it something that's just going to be another trendy thing and just die out?
Yeah, this
So
would be
another
good.
great
This would be good to get your thoughts. Yeah, like are NFTs here to stay?
So, it's difficult for anybody to say, is it here to stay? But when we're talking about assets, normally they're here to stay, right? Like an asset is something that holds value. So I think NFTs are here to stay. I think some of the cons of NFTs is because, sometimes they're bought with different currencies. How long are these currencies are going to hold value? That's hard to say. You can sell an NFT Bitcoin with Bitcoin. You can sell NFTs with Ethereum. You can, do you know what I mean? And we already know that cryptocurrency is extremely volatile, so it goes up and it goes down. So it's hard to say whether it will hold a lot of value. But we've seen Bitcoin over a 10-year period and we've seen it hold its value. Yeah, it's had extremely high highs and it's had its lows, but over a 10-year span, it's way higher than what it was when it first started. You see what I'm saying? So I kind of predict that for NFTs. Whether that will happen, I don't want to say I'll put my house in it, but this is something that I'm playing with at the moment, and I completely see the value. And I think there's a whole community of people that will see the value. And I think right now, as more people jump onto it, I think it will 100% be a bubble and trend, but I still feel like it will hold long-term value, and there'll probably be more technology that gets built on top of it that might last longer. But right now, I see like a lot of there's a lot of pros with it, especially for the content creator and the artist. Like, for example, like after this episode, I'm gonna share a link. If you're listening to this on YouTube, there's gonna be a link in the description on YouTube where you can sign up to Coinbase and you can use our referral code. And also, we're also launching our first collection of NFTs. So this is the Social Living podcast, and we're going to sell the original art collection of the cover of the podcast as an NFT. There's only going to be 5 of them. So if you're an avid listener, you can purchase one of these and hold it and see if it will hold for value in I guess in the years to come. As we grow, we expect our NFT value to grow as well along with it. So it's another way that our supporters can support the community. So it's a great way. I'm gonna be purchasing one myself. That's what I mean. And I'm the original creator. You know what I mean? But I gotta think of like my kids and stuff. So I want them to hold it. So they have a little bit of something as well. So yeah, that'll be dropping by the time that this podcast is out on all listening platforms. So if you are listening to this, just head over to the YouTube channel, type in Hashtagliving Agency, subscribe to the page, and you'll see the latest episode of this podcast, and just go into the description and you'll see the links there for Coinbase as well as OpenSea, where our latest NFT will be available. So yeah,
Sick,
man.
sick, sick. Nah, again, well put. Is dropping gems, and yeah, I'm definitely benefiting from this episode a lot, as well as King Roshi is as well. And to link back to him as well, he's got another question. So yeah, fully engaged with today's episode. Looks as though he's a marketer, and he's wondering how he can kind of offer this to business and sell it into businesses, and maybe make a profit from it, or how he can kind of work it into his marketing strategy. So yeah, I'm just gonna play his questions, and it'll be interesting to hear your thoughts on it.
Can y'all please let me up? I have a lot of questions because you're talking about brands and stuff like that, and I do marketing, and I'm wondering if this is something that I should try to offer to some of the businesses and companies that I work with.
Yeah, 100%. Like, you know what it is? Like, if you, so the art can be very different, you know, like, I would recommend, like, you can't just put out anything, right? So it's got to make sense for the brand. You want it to kind of look quite cool, I guess. So like the art is very is it perspective, like it depends on the perspective that you want to go with and the type of like the branding that you're going with, right? So what I've done is very simple. Is there's just the artwork. We've got a variety of different artwork that I've put out on different social media platforms and things like that of like the podcast. So there's going to be this like it's all pretty much very similar. But you can work with like a digital artist. It could be a 3D artist. It could be a 3D motion artist. And if you were an artist, I would highly say, if you can work with a brand and help them create their first NFT, you yourself can earn if you do like a smart contract. Again, this is a little bit more advanced, but you can do like a smart contract. So you were commissioned to create this art, and you can also, because you are the original creator of this art, you and the brand, as long as it's posted as the brand, you both could earn commission from future sales of this NFT. And then again, that's 100% something that you guys can offer to your clients. I haven't offered it to any of our clients at the moment, but again, we're still in a very much educational stage of NFTs, and a lot of people are quite scared. Where me, I'm just kind of like, I just want to play around with it and see where it goes. And if you got clients that are willing to kind of go into the unknown and see what happens, then yeah, 100% you should be offering it out. Again, you're gonna have to do some research around digital art, how it's created, what you can create. There are definitely some big ideas that you can run with. Like I saw NFT in a chain the other day. Again, we're going into real life, so it's like
Yeah, I
either
saw
properly
that.
connected with
I don't know
anything.
who I saw that from,
That was me. I
but
I,
yeah, I did
I
see it.
reposted that.
You posted. That might have been where. That might have been where.
Yeah, so you can get like NFTs in your chain, and again, that's a new thing. What if you're a rapper in the chain and you've got a fan base who wants to purchase five of like, there's five chains. They'll purchase these chains. That's a whole new, asset again that people are buying into, and every time it's resold, you're making change from it. So yeah, I think being the original creator of an NFT is a good thing. And then also giving the opportunity for people to own it and resell it, and they make money too. It's a win-win. I don't want to keep boasting about all the pros. There are a lot of pros, but you also have to be mindful of the cons with NFT, because you
Mm.
can post something and you get no traction. No one's buying it. You know what I mean? Your brand could look stale. Um,
It's
so
like with
yeah,
anything, you've just got to do your own research, and yeah, anything's a risk when you are investing, so be mindful of that. But yeah,
100%. 100%. Was there another question there, King
yeah. So
Road?
I think the gems you've been dropping has really hit home with King Roshi, and yeah, he looks like he wants to carry this conversation on after the podcast. But yeah, I'll just play what he's got to say.
I may, I may have a lucrative business proposition for you, Jules. Hopefully I'm saying your name right. But yeah, like if we can get in contact, I just followed you on Instagram and everything. If we can get in contact and kind of talk things over, I think we'd be able to have a lucrative partnership. If you just take the time to hear me out.
Sounds good, man. Sounds good, man. Sounds good. Let's definitely hit me up. We'll hit it up on IG, and yeah, we'll go from there, man. That sounds good. Sounds good. So yeah, man. You did say my name right as well, by the way, Jules. Everyone calls me Jules. It's easy to say. So yeah. Yeah, man. I think NFTs for me, 100% jams the future. If you're not in it already, you need to get on it because, like, especially when I talk to you, Jam, because I know you as a person. I know you've been active on like Gumtree, eBay, buying, selling. It's just the same
Mm.
thing. It's just on a digital asset form. And then if you can do it, like obviously I know um obviously you're from a very entrepreneurial family, like like obviously your household is very entrepreneurial. So it's like there's an opportunity there. Do you know what I mean? And with
Got
that
you.
opportunity, you pushing out an NFT, that also gives another awareness onto NFTs. So then people can
Hmm.
dabble into that a little bit more, which also raises the value. Because if you're introducing people to NFTs and the first NFT that they hold is from your brand, they're going to talk about that journey. And that's going to be, you're the introducer for them. So they might, that just raises a little bit of your brand, I guess, awareness, isn't it? Brand
Hmm.
currency, so to speak. So
Yeah, definitely.
it's
Definitely.
a huge thing, man. There's so many things out there. I do a little bit of drawing, just as a hobby, which I don't really talk about. I feel like people don't really associate it with me at all 'cause I don't put anything out there. But now we're going into 2022, and I said this already earlier this year. I think I've said it on earlier podcasts. 2022 is the year of the content creator. Like you need to ensure that you have ownership of your content and you're earning money from the content you have. We're seeing TikTok paying out now. Instagram don't even pay out. I don't want to say they're about to fall behind because they're very much a household name. But if you can see quicker growth on TikTok, you're just going to go to TikTok because you're going to get paid from it. You
Hmm.
see what I'm
Give
saying?
me the coin.
Like, yeah, with the coin, and what happens is like you can post content that's like, it might not even 100% be yours, but your page is getting the views and everything like that. You get paid for that, right? Because there's ads on that. So there's an opportunity here for many, many people to create as much content as they can and literally yield like a second income or just a stream of income from the content that they create. And if
Mm.
you have a highly engaged community as well, you're laughing. So, that's what it's all about. There's reasons why we're on stereo, why we're on every single audio platform out there, why we're listening to, taking part in NFTs, why we're owning cryptocurrency. Do you know what I mean? It's all about ownership. We're trying to get ownership of everything that we have, and we get that mailbox money, you know, that mailbox
Hmm.
money where, okay, yo, people are gonna keep going back to this content, and that content's gonna keep yielding, and you're gonna get paid from it. That's what people want. People want to get paid. They're tired of just sitting on Instagram and just swiping and nothing. You know what I mean? They want to get paid. The content creators want to get paid. That's why sometimes it's hard for content creators to even post on Instagram because you're not going to get paid from it, but it has the eyeballs. Do you know what I mean? It has the eyeballs. People are
Hmm.
looking, so you have to be there. But people are going to go. That's why people on TikTok, people are um, they're on YouTube, for example, get gonna get paid from it. And that's what people are strive to be. They're trying to be influencers, they're trying to be content creators. And it's a great time to be one. And that this wasn't an option 10 years ago. You couldn't tell someone they were gonna be a content creator. It was just something that they did, but they never thought they were gonna get paid from it like that. Even
Hmm.
back to 20 years, this wasn't a career. Soon I won't be surprised if content creation is being taught in like universities and stuff like that. And again, you can work in content creation and stuff like that. So yeah, man, big, 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 big. Did you have
Gems,
any more
gems.
questions?
Now you've literally covered everything there from like start to finish. You've gone into depth about like where you see it going, how it currently sits in the market, who's adopting it, in terms of the likes of Jay-Z and Tory Lanez, as King Roshi said. But yeah, it's just open. It kind of opens. I've just been taking it all in, and it's opened my mind into the different possibilities in terms of how I can adapt and look at NFTs and with Tanika's baking business, what like route she could go down with that, and just play around and like experience do my homework and look into it a bit more personally because
Yeah,
like it's
100%.
still early doors and it's how long when do you reckon it started when the talk started going around, like when do you reckon NFTs was brought to the surface? The last
I
18
think,
months maybe?
yeah, definitely. Like last 18 months, but it's more so been like top of the year. We've seen a lot of people
Hmm.
talking about it, like Gary V bringing a lot of attention to it. And he's been very careful. I actually really respect him because he understands his community is highly engaged and he's not purposely going out talking about his NFTs that he might own or have to kind of create this bubble where he can create enough hype about it. Do you know what I mean? Because he has an engaged audience that might run and jump on NFTs quickly. Suddenly, you're gonna see a bubble on NFTs, and every NFT going for like 2.3 million or whatever it is, ridiculous
Hmm.
amounts of money, and then it just comes down because it becomes saturated, or you know what I mean. So it's like he's
Yeah.
purposely being careful about what he's saying, but he's saying he's learning, and I think that's really important. And he brings a lot of things to the surface, like smart contracts. So contracts that is backed again by blockchain. So you can have your I guess your digital copy and you can have your physical copy and stuff. But everything that is signed and everything is on the blockchain, so it's there for everybody to see what it is that you get. You know what I mean? And what it is that is checked. And it can all be checked through the blockchain system. And I think that's really, really important. So yeah, man, it's a very much a digital world. How long this will last, I don't know. Even I don't want to kind of take it off topic, but there are other things that are coming into the world, like AI, for example. So things like influencer marketing could be under threat because if you just have robot influencers, if imagine your influencers just like the characters from League of Legends, you don't need a human. You know what I mean? So
Mm.
again, that's another topic and another discussion. So it's like for as long as we're here and we're around, NFTs can be around for just as long, and it can be evolved as well. So, Amazon sold books, right? They don't sell books.
Hmm.
Well, they do sell books now, but they sell everything now. You see what I'm saying? So it can evolve. The idea can evolve, and I'm not ruling that out at all. I'm not saying NFTs is a finished article. Already, we're seeing it kind of being blended with real world products. So imagine you bought a house or you built a house, it's an NFT. So the original builder of the house, every time it's sold, gets money from it. We're talking about something completely different to anything we've experienced in our life when you come to that kind of stuff. You see what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So and for me, I'm just happy it puts the power back into certain artists' hands. So the people like
Yeah.
Banksy, he
The
he
power is in
puts
the
out
creator.
for them.
The power is now with the creator because
Yeah,
they reap the rewards, the long-term rewards of their work rather than the initial payment or the initial buyout. Like they've got it for life, like you said.
yeah.
It
And you
sticks
know
to
what?
them, it
Yeah,
sticks to the name.
I like. I feel like I'm a creator. People might not like know me as this, but I definitely feel like I'm a person who's quite creative, and um, I like the feeling of creating things. And sometimes when you create something, you don't necessarily want to put it out, but because it's your means to an end, you put it out, and then you lose control of kind of where it goes, if you get what I mean, and you don't earn
Hmm.
anything from that. Do you know what I mean? Like Banksy, someone might buy Banksy's art and then suddenly put it into a museum right next to where they took things from Africa or something. And he's like, I don't want it there. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But with the NFT now, he'll earn every time it's being sold. Do you see what I'm saying? Where instead of like, and you can know who it is, who it's gone to, and things like that. And he might be able to put something within the smart contract of the original thing of where it's displayed and things like that. So before you might not have that power because then the art might not get sold. But there are so many avid Banksy fans out there, they're gonna want to purchase. Like, I want to buy some of Banksy's art. You see what I'm saying? So, and then you got to think
Mm-hmm.
about the people that knock it off as well. So there's people who like you might see in markets or whatever, and you got Banksy's art there and selling for like £5. But Banksy don't get any of that. But with if Banksy puts it out on the blockchain, everybody knows, okay, that's officially Banksy's account and that's his art. Then they
Mm-hmm.
know, I've actually bought something that Banksy's actually did, like, he made himself. You know what I mean? So yeah, lads, it's about ownership to for the content creators. Um, and that's a big deal for me. For me, although it might seem like I'm dropping gems, I get a lot of what I get from like just my research from reading, and a big contributor of that is someone like Nipsey Hussle. If you just go back and listen to some of his interviews and listen to his music, he always talks about owning everything and owning the whole kind of no middleman, straight
Mm-hmm.
direct to consumer. And that's what we see that's what we see Tory Lanez do with his music. That's what we're seeing J. Cole do with his music. We saw Nipsey Hussle do it with his music. And when he goes to the table with the bigger labels, it's not sign to this label and we'll do this for you. It's now, oh, this is a partnership. We're both eating and I can make use of the giant machine that the label is. They can get your music into different places, but I've also built it up to a certain point where we're getting a seat at the table, and we're not just working for you. We're both working for each other, and we're getting a slice of the pie, like a proper deserved slice of the pie. And I think that's one of the most important things. So yeah, man. NFTs, man.
Gems,
NFTs
man.
out here,
Mm. Nah,
out
that's
here,
that's
out
been a
here.
banger. That's been a banger of an episode. And like, if anyone has any further questions they want to ask, like, hit us up in the comment section or anything below, whatever platform you're listening to. You can also message us on our Instagram. Mine's my new handle's at Jam Lawrence UK, and Jules is at Mr. Julian
Mr.
Green.
G.
Is that right?
Yeah. Mr. Julian
Yeah,
Green
yes.
on everything, man. TikTok, Instagram. You can find me everywhere. I do want to quickly just run over the social media updates, man. It's been a hella week for Instagram for sure, man. It'd be good to get your views on this one as well, Jam. So Instagram's
Mm.
now adding collaboration options for feed posts and reels, um, and new music and engagement features as well. So very much similar to TikTok. Um, so they're kind of like trying to go music focused. They're trying to enhance their IG experience, but again, it just cough cough wink wink. It just sounds like TikTok, isn't it?
No surprise there, man. That's their strategy. Like,
Yeah,
just build and copy what these upcoming, I say upcoming, TikTok's pretty established, but these brands are kind of taking their marketplace from them. It'll be
yeah,
interesting to see if the tide like goes which way the tide goes, because TikTok's still holding strong, and they're getting more and more downloads per month. And I see a lot of content creators are going to TikTok now that it's become more monetizable, and the rate of follower growth on TikTok's a lot quicker than you'll see on Instagram. So a lot of people are making that jump. So yeah, the Instagram they need to do a lot. They don't to keep that market share and keep people engaged on their platform. They need to start adapting more of the features TikTok are going out with. So yeah, no surprise that they're launching these features. it'd just be interesting to see which platform people decide to stick with.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's a close race. I've always said Instagram's here to stay, but they got a lot of catching up to do if they want to kind of, get new followers, I reckon. Because people are seeing, like, with some of the like accounts that I've had, that I've managed, I'm seeing a much quicker growth rate posting the same content on TikTok than I'm seeing on Instagram. And again,
Definitely.
you know, where am I going to spend my time, especially if I know that once I get into the TikTok kind of partner program, I'm getting paid from it. There's no Instagram partner
Mhm.
program for me. So it is what it is. It is what it is. They've also come out with another update where on Instagram, you're now they're now enabling users to be able to upload photos and videos on desktop, and I think that's from this week. So I believe it's October the 21st that should drop. So I always thought you could already do this because I use the um the scheduling tool that they have on Facebook. So I always do
Mhm.
that on my thing. But if you can now do, I can't seem to do reels, but I thought if you can do reels on that as well, that would be quite cool. But
I think that's yeah, that's what I saw, that they've opened their marketing API for Reels so that external tools can look at scheduling and creating Reels externally, and it feed them through Instagram being posted through external tools, which is a good
yeah,
move because a lot of people are struggling with that. Especially if you do work for clients and your posting times are outside of working hours, you kind of want that to be a bit more
yeah,
automated and having that ability to schedule it. So again, it'd be a good
yeah,
move if that can get up and running ASAP because a lot of people are waiting for that.
yeah, big time. So again, like it just makes things easier when you're a big conglomerate. If you're an agency and stuff, you're working with different clients. Working from your phone isn't the best process sometimes, and you need some of these kind of content scheduling tools to be able to kind of, I guess, create the best process and give you the best transparency on some of the posts that you're scheduling. So it's a good move. It's a good move. And then I think the final update I have here as well is Google adds new Snapchat integration into its latest Pixel phone. So the Pixel 6 and the Pixel 6 Pro. So basically what this means is that on a quick tap from the lock screen, you can instantly take a picture straight from Snapchat, which is something that I haven't seen any other apps do. So I feel like it's quite interesting. And obviously, with it being Google, it's like this is a big deal. So
Mm.
I feel like it just keeps Snapchat at the forefront of people's minds. It's a
I
good
wonder if
option.
that. I also wonder if that's a move to kind of target the younger generation as well. Because I've seen that, don't quote me on this, but I've seen that the Pixel phones are a lot cheaper than iPhones and Samsungs at the moment. So,
I can
which makes
I
it
can tell you
more
right now.
affordable for the.
I was gonna say, sorry. So to cut you off, I was gonna say I'm gonna tell you right now the Google Pixel 6 phone, the 6 Pro. That's my next phone, like 100%
Okay, sold. You're sold. It's sold in.
sold in. Or is there a question? I'm willing to take a question if someone asks me on that. What's this? Let
Yeah,
me
King
quickly.
Rushy. Let's see what he's gonna say. You gonna play?
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, Snapchat has been the wave for a good minute. Ever since they added their ad platform on there, Snapchat is the wave. It's cost effective. It has a highly engaging audience, and the conversions for it is ridiculous.
He's got a very good point. And I know
Yeah,
Jamal,
I agree with that one. Yeah,
you've been screaming that for a while. Snapchat,
yeah. A lot of
people doubt it.
especially in terms of ads, like say from a marketing point of view, and especially with like iOS 14 coming into play and its restrictions with targeting under 18s, like under 18s is where it is on Snapchat, and being order to tap into that audience and create tailored ads that convert is a lot cheaper on Snapchat than it is on any other platform. Like in terms of like the CPMs and the cost per impressions, you're getting a lot less um sorry, the cost per result is a lot less on the platform. Just it's a no-brainer, but because the platform is seen as it's dying from a lot of the older heads because they don't use it as much, it doesn't get touched as much from a lot of brands and a lot of agencies, which means there's an opportunity there because it's not as saturated. This is why the costs are a lot cheaper, as King Roshi has said. But yeah, I've been saying this to Jules that if anyone is looking to start with ads or is looking for a cost-effective way to have ads digitally and target a younger consumer, Snapchat is definitely the way to go.
Yeah, big time. Have you used it for any of your for like Tanika's bakery stuff? And would you?
No, I haven't. So um, I would if she had a if she used the platform regularly. I don't think I'd use it ad hoc and just use it as an ad platform. I'd kind of want to have I'd if I was if this was for Tanika, I'd want her to document her life, document her story on Snapchat, and then use the ad platform to support rather than
Mm,
just use it ad hoc.
mm.
Yeah, my main experience with Snapchat ads has been when I was agency side and I was doing a lot of like student campaigns, and yeah, results were crazy that I received on there.
That's good. That's good. I'm yet to use the ad manager there, to be honest. But when I get the opportunity to have a dabble into it, I definitely will for sure. Um, I think I'd probably more likely to use it on an ad hoc basis, just simply for the type of clients that we have. But
Hmm.
yeah, we'll see what kind of yields the results that we want. So yeah, man. But I think we should wrap it up there, man. I think this was a very interesting episode. Definitely tune in for next week's episode as well. Um, that one's going to be about Black History Month, man. In the UK, it's Black History Month, and a lot of brands have, I guess, attempted to kind of take part in Black History Month, and we're going to analyze some of their activity, and we're going to answer a lot of questions around Black History Month. I'm sure a lot of people might not understand why Black History Month is a thing. So we're going to dive deep into that and try and give it from a brand perspective as well. So if you are a brand
Hmm.
listening, definitely try and tune into that. Again, if you want to find out when that is, just stay tuned on onto our IG page. So you can follow us. Jamal's already given us the handles. The handles is also given in the description below. Um, so yeah, let's wrap it up there, and we'll see you guys next week. And yeah, thank you
Yeah,
very much, Jam and King Roche. Big shout out to you.
yeah. Big shout out to King Roshi, man. We appreciate the comments, appreciate the questions.
Love, man. Tune in to next time. Peace out.